Well, hello, hello, hello. This is Paula McDade with the Brilliant Awakening Telesummit Night 5. We are at the end, and I cannot believe it, but I'm still very excited to be here with you all tonight to bring you this amazing guest that we have this evening. I'm so excited. Come on in and join us. Get comfortable, get something to write with, or just be sure that you got your ears tuned in because you're going to want to hear this incredible information. Again, my name is Paula McDade. I am the creator of Brilliant Awakening TV, as well as the editor-in-chief of Brilliant Awakening magazine, and I'm super excited to be on with you guys tonight. Hey, Carla, welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you. Excited to be here. I can't believe it's the last night. Oh my goodness. This week has flown by. We've had some amazing guests this week. We had Carla Chapman last night talking about managing self-care, and now Miss Ashanti is joining us, and I cannot wait to get her on camera. She is just has so much information that she is going to share with us tonight that's going to bring value. Hey, Miss Ashanti. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well. You look fabulous. You sound great. The audio is perfect. And so I'm excited. Yay. Hey, Alfreda, good to have you online. We have Carla joining us. So we are hoping that some more ladies will come in. Guys, come in and join us. Invite someone to watch this, share this on your wall with your followers. We want to make sure that all of you get this incredible information tonight. You do not want to miss this. This guest is someone that you want to get to know. She is just a go-getter. She's someone who is a powerhouse, and I cannot wait to hear from her tonight. I'm going to go ahead and read her bio so that we can get right into this content tonight. So, Ashanti Barnes, carrier of the gospel, a life strategist, an educator, author, and empowerment speaker. She is a servant leader and a spiritual midwife, facilitating others to birth and develop their God-given gifts. I love that. She is a kingdom builder who operates with the spirit of excellence in all her endeavors. Tonight's guest is truly living an abundant and rich life with purpose, on purpose, and is committed to enriching the lives of others through ministry and education, two passions that serve as major platforms for this creative and compassionate soul. Please join me in welcoming tonight's guest, Miss Ashanti Barnes. Yay!
Hi, everybody.
Yes, we are super pumped, excited to have you, Miss Ashanti, tonight. And I'm still getting to know Ashanti, but what I do know about her thus far, from just the short amount of time that we have known one another, she is such a cheerleader. I mean, she gets in there, and if she is for you, she supports you. She cheerleads. She, just gives you kudos, and I mean, just an amazing supportive person. And so I'm just glad to say that I know you, Miss Ashanti.
Likewise.
Yes. So, we heard all of these accolades about, your ministry and your educational background, and you're an author and an empowerment speaker. But this spiritual midwife thing, that's a term that I've heard a lot lately, and I've used in reference to myself as well. And, maybe there's someone on tonight that doesn't have a clue what that is. Can you just unpack that for us a little bit and tell us what a spiritual midwife is?
From my perspective, first of all, you have to kind of understand what a midwife truly is. In terms of child birth, a midwife is one who actually goes into the labor and delivery process with the expected mother. Yeah. So there is this mother who is carrying something that must be delivered. Mm-hmm. And that midwife is that person who pushes and who cheerleads and who coaches that person through the birthing process, who will not give up on that mother, although there may be some hard and difficult times in this process. Right. This is the person that keeps that mother focused on the end goal. This is the person who continues to encourage and empower and soothe and continue to just love on and just keep that person focused on exactly what is to come. Keep them focused on no matter what's going on during this time of hurt or pain or distress
Yes.
This person keeps that mother on focus. So as a spiritual midwife, I do precisely that for those who have these gifts inside of them. You
Yes.
know, God has given us all gifts. We all have these tremendous callings and abilities and these mantles, and they take some developing, you know.
Yes.
But
Yes.
at some point, that thing that's inside of you has to be delivered.
Yes.
And sometimes it's hard and it's stressful and it's painful, and you want to give up in the process, but you can't give up in the process,
Yes.
because your blessing is on the other side of that pain. Your
Wow.
blessing is on the other side of that struggle. Your blessing is on the other side of that hurt. Your blessing, that thing that you're going through, is only temporary. What
Yes.
you're trying to get to, the real prize, the real reward, the baby,
Yes.
that thing is so much more valuable than whatever it is you're going through. And it's worth going through the struggle, the stress, the strain to get to the
That's
prize. So
right.
my job as a spiritual midwife is to help you birth what's inside of you. And I
Wow.
am so pleased that God has given me that mantle.
Yes, yes, it is so rewarding, and it takes a special type of person in that we have to be able to see that potential in someone and draw that out, and
Absolutely.
speak to that thing. Part of a midwife's job is also to be verbally giving these words of command and encouragement and pushing, so that when that mother hears those things, she is motivated to keep on
Yes.
going, and so just even declaring and decreeing the things that we see in people that God wants to bring out. So I love that. I love that spiritual midwife. And I want to say welcome to all of you who joined us. I see Katrina is on here. Amanda, Mona, thank you so much for being here tonight. You are in for a treat. So let's go ahead and jump right into the content, because I know that you're here tonight to talk about building your success circle. And
Yes.
I'm almost thinking that I sort of misworded that title, because what I understand now about kingdom children like ourselves, like the women that are on
Yes.
this broadcast, is that often it's not us that is building the success circle. It's God bringing those individuals into our circle. So go ahead and talk about, what that would look like for a woman who may be embarking on a ministry or a new career or a business and trying to really elevate herself beyond just, the mundane, the mediocrity of maybe the old family and friends that she's used to being surrounded with.
Okay, so there's this song. It's really, really old, okay? And I think it falls in the hip hop genre because the song is actually written by Fabulous, the rapper, but he has a collaboration with an R&B singer named Neo. And Neo sings the hook, and he sings these lyrics. He says, "I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together.
Wow.
I'm good all by myself, but you make me better."
Wow.
Now, Neo was talking about a romantic love, that kind of partnership relationship between a man and a woman. But I see God in everything. And I believe that I could have those type of covenant, divine connections, those type of relationships with people that have like minds. I really do believe that iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I really believe that when we connect, we could have a mutually beneficial relationship. So what does that look like for my success circle? I'm looking for people who will sharpen my iron. Okay. There are going to be people that I pour into that will not pour back. Everyone has their purpose. There are some people who need whatever it is that I give. But when I talk about my success circle, the people that are around me, my inner circle, those that encourage me, those that pour into me, those have to be the people that have a like-mindedness. I can't invite you into my success circle, my inner circle, my innermost space if we, if there is any manner of competition, that has no room in a success circle.
No.
Any manner of comparisons, that has no room in a success circle. If we're looking at a success circle, all parties involved must have a collaborative spirit.
Yes.
We
Yes.
all must understand that when one person wins, we all win.
Yes.
We all must understand that there has to be a celebratory attitude. When that person wins, I'm next in line for my winning. And
Wow.
I can celebrate your success as if it were my own, because does not your Bible say that what happens, what you bring to the body is for the whole body?
That's right.
So when you are celebrated, I'm celebrating myself.
Wow.
Because the word also says that our cups are filled to the overflow.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
when you're overflowing,
Overflowing.
it's not just for you. Yes, you're the
Yes.
beneficiary of the blessing. You receive the blessing, but you're also the benefactor. You're
Wow.
also declared and decreed one who will also give out. And I
Wow.
know that God has a special blessing on the giver.
Mm.
So in a relationship, it should be, especially a success circle, it
Yes.
should be a give and take relationship.
Yes.
So there is this urban legend that I've been really kind of hanging my hat on for the last few years. There's a story about this anthropologist. She's from the West, perhaps in the United States,
Mm-hmm.
and she traveled to a country in Africa. Okay, and she's studying the social behavior of an indigenous tribe.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point, she decides that she's going to observe the behavior of children. I love children, and God has a special blessing on children. And she proposed a game. In fact, it was a race where she put a basket overflowing with just luscious fruit at the end, right under the shade tree.
Mm-hmm.
And she backed up and drew a line, and she told the children that they were going to initiate in a race, okay? And whomever got to the tree first could win the prize of that basket of fruit, okay? So this is why I love children. God has a special blessing on children. The children, when they realized what the prize was,
Uh-huh.
and that there was only one prize, all of the children linked hands together and ran to the tree together.
Wow.
When they got to the tree, they all sat in a circle. Okay,
Wow.
come on, circle.
Wow.
They all sat in a circle and they all enjoyed this delicious, luscious fruit. So the anthropologist was baffled. She wanted to know, why did the children choose to run that way? The children simply responded, Ubuntu. That simply means, how can I be happy if all others are not?
Wow.
So we have to have that type of spirit where you want someone else to win. Your success is dependent upon how you handle someone else's success.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes. Yes.
Amen.
I love it.
Yes.
That is so wonderful. And God said that to me earlier this week about, the fact that I cheer for the people around me so hard. I'm always going hard for them. When I see them winning or getting a blessing of some kind or anything, I am just like, yes, yay. And I'm genuinely happy, not fake happy or pretending to be happy. I'm like genuinely overjoyed as if it was me. And God said, there's a reward for you because you are so willing to get in there with your sisters and brothers and root for them and be happy for them and genuinely want the best for them. And I was like, really, God? And he was like, yes, because I that is accounted to you. Your rooting for them is accounted toward you. So
yes.
It's just as if you receive exactly what they're getting. And I'm like, oh
Absolutely.
my God, it's amazing. So that's a very important principle with regard to success circles. And what I know is that oftentimes people don't realize how to function within that type of relationship because they've never seen it modeled before. They've never They've never seen the people around them operate in that type of environment. So they don't quite know how that's supposed to work. So this is a really important topic that we're talking about tonight, because as you mentioned, that whole competition thing, that has no place in a success circle. None whatsoever.
None. And it's a distraction.
Right. It's a distraction. Yes.
And it's a task or a tactic of the enemy The enemy wants you pitted against one another. So
Wow.
if you're focused on bickering and competing and comparing, you are taking your eyes off of your calling. You know,
Wow.
God has specific things for us to do. And if we've taken our eyes off of the mantle, the calling, this great task that he has for us, and we're easily persuaded to look in a way that is not of God.
Right.
Where it doesn't bring him glory and it doesn't edify others.
Right.
We have to be able to call that thing out, and it's really, really sad that we live in a time where people celebrate being petty.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We live in a time where it is trendy to be shady.
Wow.
But that is a tactic from the pit of hell.
It is.
And I cast that thing down right now in the name of Jesus.
Yes. Well, it's the original sin. It's the original sin that Satan did in the garden. Excuse me, I am so sorry. Yeah. It's funny how when we start talking about that, suddenly I get choked up. That's the original sin
Lord.
That the enemy perpetrated when he went against God, and that's how he got kicked out of heaven, because he wanted God's position.
Absolutely.
He was in competition. And so God said, oh no, we won't have any of that. You got to go. You have to go. And so what does that look like? What if you have someone within your success circle and suddenly you figure out that all along they've been secretly competing, and they've been secretly trying to undermine your success, and they've secretly maybe been even gossiping a little bit about you to try to minimize your achievements and your accomplishments? Are we supposed to just immediately eject them from our lives, or what does that look like for a believer? Because you see all these things of, oh, just get rid of them, just cut them off, just kick them out of your life. But how are we supposed to handle those things?
You know what? I really think we ought to be led of God. There will be times where God tells you to stick and stay close. Perhaps that person should glean from your behaviors, your mannerisms, the way you handle things. But then there are other times where God may take you away from that person because they're absolutely toxic and they mean you no good at all. So, I was talking to my kindred spirit today. I think she's on now, Katrina, and I was telling her that sometimes we have to make sure that we're back on track, and so much so that when someone else is off track, I can't focus on that.
Yeah.
Don't focus on what's off track. Stay on track. And if something or someone else is off track, that's not my focus. I have to have tunnel vision. You have to complete what God has set out for you to complete. You have to do what is purpose for you. There are times where God is taking you away from these toxic and negative people that operate like a cancer. And sometimes we want to keep them around because we're so comfortable. Sometimes we even get comfortable in the dysfunction.
Wow.
But we have to know when God has closed the door, and once that door is closed, it is intended to remain closed.
Yes.
So for those that remain, those who are in your circle, we have to look at these two things. And there are a lot of buzzwords that are going around. And it's so interesting. They're just kind of being recycled. These words, I hear a lot of people saying empowerment, but I don't know if they really understand what empowerment is, because you need that empowerment in your success circle. I hear a lot of people talking about encouragement, and I'm not really sure if we know what it is. So much so that we're using these words over and over again because they're popular, because they're buzzwords, and because they're being overused and misused many times, they lose their power. They lose their value.
Yes.
So when people are saying empowerment, what does that mean? Well, power cannot die, but power can be transferred. So if we're in a success circle and we're empowering one another, we're transferring power one to another. What does that mean? If I'm giving you power, I'm giving you help.
Wow.
You
Okay.
need something from me. Empowerment doesn't mean that I just speak a word to you or speak a word
Yes.
over your life. Empowerment means wherever you need me to serve you, I will
Yes.
give you help.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So encouragement is likened to that. Encouragement means that I transfer courage. What does
Yes.
that mean? When I transfer courage, that means I'm giving you hope.
Yes.
So there will be times where I need to speak a word over your life. That's
Yes.
encouragement. You
Yes.
know, there are times when God doesn't tell you to touch a thing because he may be doing something in that person. For instance, I'm fascinated with butterflies, okay? Paula, did you know that there are some people who have seen a butterfly that is trying to emerge from the cocoon, okay? And every once in a while, they see the struggle of the butterfly and they try to cut the cocoon to free the butterfly.
Yes.
That's a problem. That's
Yes.
a problem because sometimes your struggle is exactly what you need to be strengthened. Okay?
Yes.
So, yes, you do need encouragement, and yes, you do need empowerment, but you have to be led of God how he wants you to operate in that person's life in that season.
Yes.
So, um, what does that do? When a person cuts open the cocoon, that means that the butterfly now does not have the strength in his wings to fly.
That's
So
right.
sometimes you can get ahead of God and do things that you have not been called to do, thinking that
Mm.
you're helping and you're actually hurting.
Wow. Yes. Yes.
So we want to make sure that we're led of God in all situations. We
Yes.
need to consult God for every single thing that
Yes.
we're doing. And
Yes.
even if that's helping, because sometimes you can do more harm than
Been
good,
good. Yes.
even when you're thinking that you're helping. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Oh, it makes perfect sense. I've lived this. I've lived exactly what you're saying. I've had situations where I wanted so badly to reach out and, offer my hands-on assistance to someone, but I knew that God was dealing with them and he said, absolutely not, hands off. And so I couldn't, do the thing that I wanted to do. But then I had peace because I was like, God, if you're saying don't touch it, that means that you've got this and you don't need my help at this time. And if and when you
Or
do,
not in that way.
yeah, or not in that way. And so I've had to be obedient to the Spirit of God and follow his lead on that. So I know exactly what you're saying. And yes, it does make total sense. Katrina said it's called enabling someone.
And by enabling, we disable.
Yes, yes,
You can
absolutely.
truly hurt someone if you're operating out of turn.
Wow.
You
Wow.
can truly hurt someone
Yeah, and there's a lot
unintentionally.
of excuse me, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Unintentionally, of course. Sometimes we really think we're doing a good thing, but if we're operating out of order, it's not to their benefit, but rather their detriment,
Sure, sure. And in
and
and in
that
the body of
causes
Christ.
harm to the success circle.
Yes, absolutely. And we don't want to cause harm. And there's a lot of enabling in the body of Christ because we think that it's Christ-like to, you know, do all of these helping activities when sometimes you need to just stop trying to be the Holy Spirit Junior in someone's life and let the real Holy Spirit take over.
Let me tell you what's happened. I know that God has called me to be a servant. I'm a servant leader, and God uses me to help people. But what ends up happening is because I know that God, He uses me, He works through me. I am a conduit of power. I transfer that power one to another,
Yes.
and I channel God's gifts, and I channel all of these blessings. He uses me in that manner. It feels amazing. So
Yes.
sometimes I get excited and I get ahead of God.
Mm.
And he has to chastise me and he has to pop me because sometimes I just get outside of his will. It's a good thing, good intentions,
Right.
but it's not helping that person.
Sure.
And then I get frustrated because I'm thinking, well, why aren't they giving it back to me?
Yes.
you
Yes.
know so
Yes.
now there is bitterness that creeps up, or resentment that creeps up inside of the success circle, and it is caused rather than success, but it's caused a lot of negative, bad vibes, bad energy, and it causes the relationships to unravel.
Wow. Wow. That is a, that's a tightrope walk to really, really hear from God on how to manage those relationships. And so that you continue to have that iron sharpening iron type of effect on one another. And so that you don't diminish the, that in your relationship. So, wow, that's amazing. So if you had to, looking over your life, over the, span of your ministry and your time serving others and being the servant leader that you are, give me a time when you saw God use someone within your success circle in a significant way to bring you to a new level, a new dimension in your vocation or in your ministry or in your calling.
Okay, great question. Thank you for asking that. They're my best friend. He really pours into me. He really sows good seed into good ground. So I started out as a kindergarten teacher in my profession.
Wow.
And as a kindergarten teacher, I loved everything I did, and I did it in a big way. I loved my kids, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. And I said, I am going to start and end my career in this classroom, in this grade, in this school, okay? And he said, Ashanti, at what point are you going to realize that if you're that effective with 20 kids each year, that you can spread that impact and be more effective with more kids? So at what point are you going to become spread those gifts where more students can receive what it is that you bring to the education field? How can you share that passion? How can you spark that curiosity in children and have them to be innovative and just have a, just this longing for lifelong learning? And from there, I decided, okay, well, I will continue my education. And I started working on administration courses. And I eventually got my licensure to become a principal, where I could impact an entire school. I started taking leadership classes and cohorts where I could become, effective in curriculum and instruction and professional development. And I eventually started joining organizations where I was impacting the entire state of Mississippi.
Wow.
I even went on to leaving just that one grade level to becoming an interventionist, where I touched the entire school, every grade level, every student in the entire school. So you must have someone in your life who sees the potential, who sees the, that greatness inside of you, and will not allow you to kind of rest and make a home in your comfort zone.
That's right.
Actually, it's so interesting. One of my favorite people in the world, he has joined this broadcast. He's actually my academic advisor from Jackson State University.
Wow.
My undergrad, he joined the broadcast, and I still tell people that he is my academic advisor because he continued to sow into me. He continued to encourage me and empower me. There were times where I would have these amazing presentations, and I know I killed it. And he will look me in my face and say, well, you didn't get 100 for that. And I'm thinking, why not? Because I rocked it and I was the best one here. He was like, but you weren't the best you can be. I know you have more. So he challenged me, although I was better than everyone in that room, and it wasn't a comparison thing, but I know I brought it. But because he knew me, he said, you weren't your best self, So I can't give you full credit. It doesn't matter if you came across as having the best presentation. You weren't your best self. So you have to have people in your life who will not allow you to, number one, rest in your comfort zone, and in those valley moments, those valley experiences, they will not allow you to have pity parties so that you can't continue to press forward and move ahead.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. That is awesome. That's exactly what I was trying to draw out. I wanted, our listeners and our viewers to really hear an example of what does that look like in operation when you have someone in your success circle and they know you backwards and forwards and they know what excellence looks like inside of you and they draw that out and they call you on
Mhm.
certain things to pull you out of your comfort zone. I love it. Wow, amazing.
Absolutely.
Hey there, Lisa. We see you. Hi, how are you? So listen, guys, we have a couple more minutes on the broadcast, so I don't want to leave. If you guys have questions, if you have something that's burning that you want to ask Ashanti, this is the time to say that because she's here with us tonight. This is the last night of the Brilliant Awakening broadcast, and I don't want to miss this opportunity. So if you have any questions about Success Circle and what does that look like in operation and the principles behind it, or you have a specific question about your situation, this would be the time to put your question there in the comments so that we can have Ashanti to answer that question. So again, thank you guys so much. Gwen, I see that you joined us. Coach Gigi, looks like you've been here the whole time and we really appreciate you for being on tonight. So any questions, guys, before we get off the air? I just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported this week's telesummit. It has been amazing. We've had some, excuse me, awesome guests. We've had some awesome topics. We've had plenty.
Yes.
We've had plenty of back and forth and just conversation that has been so valuable. And I'm just thankful. God, thank God for this opportunity. Thank Him for the ideas. Thank Him for those who have come on and supported this effort. It has just really been amazing. So, guys, if there are no questions tonight, we're going to go ahead and sign off. I want to let you know that you can reach Miss Ashanti at Ashanti. Give us your contact information.
Okay, so I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, WordPress, and YouTube as
Woo!
Ashanti Barnes. Yeah, so we're all over the place.
Yes,
um,
absolutely.
so we're all over the place, and I will also drop all of my links in the comments after this broadcast has been published on Facebook, so you can have direct links.
Mm.
But there is, if there are no questions, I did want to leave 4 quick tips
Sure.
to building your success circle. Um, there are super skills that every success circle must have in order to be effective for every member that is involved inside of that success circle. The first thing that you must have is communication. Right?
Mm.
So you wanted to share our thoughts, our questions, ideas, and solutions. Communication. The second thing you need to have a success circle is collaboration. That means we work together to reach a common goal. We put the talents and the expertise to work immediately and consistently. The third thing we need is creative thinking. Okay? We need to try new approaches. All right? Try new things. Be open to new ways of doing things. And finally, critical thinking, which would be that problem solving. You need some people to kind of run some things by, and kind of come up with problems to those solutions. So there are 4 things that you must have in order to lock down your success circle. That's communication, collaboration, creative thinking, and critical thinking, and you shall have your success circle.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. That was a great way to end the broadcast, Ashanti. We sure appreciate you. Thank you for being on tonight. And listen,
Absolutely.
if you want to stay connected with Brilliant Awakening, you can find us, of course, here on this page, but we also have a presence on YouTube, Brilliant Awakening TV, and you can go on and subscribe there, keep up with all of our videos and broadcasts, as well as our magazine page, which is brilliantawakeningmag.com. Make sure that you subscribe to the magazine, subscribe to the page so you can get updates and news. I'm Paula McDade, your host for Brilliant Awakening Telesummit, and we are so glad you joined us this week. Thank you for your support. God bless you, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.